You got too much documentation in this spreadsheet.
I got too much
data.
well, I got no resolution. So anyway, there's these different columns. The cluster number tells you, what these different things are. Then the object, and then what I want the breakouts to do then is work on, like I say, a working definition, an example or two of that, and then just a simple narrative of when in the process of creating the object or bringing the object into your research environment, or when during the creation of something that you want to reproduce, does that thing need to be identified? Yeah.
And you mean when in terms of time, not in terms of weather, right? Or both?
Both,
Okay.
but I was thinking more time.
Okay.
But yeah, it could be weather. So for example, we had data management plans in here, and we decided that you're never going to need to cite data management plans to reproduce a result. Maybe we're wrong, but so that would be no, or whether or not. But like thinking of data come in. At what point do you decide that this is a bundle that we want to identify? If you're referencing an organization, when does that need to be done, and what is driving that? So that might help you with that granularity of the organization. Is it the big funding agency? Is it the small lab? That sort of thing. So by asking this when question, it's really trying to sort of address the identity question. So before we break into groups, does the charge sort of make sense? Okay, I'm not seeing any shaking heads. I'm only seeing nodding heads. So we have these. Who's messing with? So we have these 9. You're gonna, oh, I see what you're doing. Oh, aren't you clever? So we have these 9 types of activities. We pre-designated 5 that we wanted to talk about, but I'm willing to go with what the group wants to do, except we're not going to do literature. And so just by a show of hands, who's interested in doing data and related objects? All right, we got 3. Who's interested in doing software and related objects? We got 4, nice. Who's interested in doing samples and physical artifacts? All right, we've got 3. All right, we're breaking out good. Ontologies and vocabularies? 3, 4. All right, so this is breaking out pretty nice. Complex research objects, especially learning materials? Got 2. Anybody interested in doing instruments and facilities? There's Mike. What?
I am, but I'm interested in.
Okay. There's only a couple on that. I think we should skip organizations since we just had an hour and a half on organizations, if that's all right. Ted, all right, who wants to do organizations? And activities. Okay, so we've got, I think we've got 5 groups then. So if we do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, we got 6 groups. Maybe that's a little crazy. There is a person online. It's like, oh. So why don't we, so there was definitely interest in data and software. So why don't we, let's just all vote for your feet. You all get to move now. So let's have a data group down here in this corner. Okay, all right. So we're kind of getting into the plenary discussion. So what I wanted to do to close things out was just hear, sort of short takeaways, observations, insights from each group. Like not necessarily go through how you filled out the cells, but just sort of, so I'll start with data and maybe that'll help set the tone. So the data rows were data at the collection level, data at the granular level, data that's a result of this, of some sort of service, model outputs, and then things like static data like images and or maybe an audio file. We found that for this use case, the reproducing a result thing, those things get really muddied, because really what it is the thing that, this is not universally true and we get into more details, but it's the thing that was used that resulted in the assertion, and that's what needs to be identified. And we got a little hung up on the difference between when do you need to identify something, i.e., sort of name something or say that this is a thing, as opposed to assigning an identifier, which means you're saying that this is a thing and it's registered and it's in a designated location that you can access. And we just stuck with this is a thing. So that's sort of where we got.